Today we're going to do a dry run on how to properly refract a Beta VestiGuard unit here at Chicago O'Hare. A couple things I have with me. First of all, I have some PPE, my gloves on. I want to make sure that when we're doing this, we always wear gloves. The fluid that we will be dealing with will be hot between 140 and 200 degrees Fahrenheit, so we always want to make sure we take care of our bodies and we wear gloves so that we do not sustain any burns or other injuries to our person. I have my quick disconnect hose here. I have a refractometer, a paper towel for cleaning the refractometer, and I have a sample cup here to take my sample. First thing I want to do before the sprayer turns on the equipment is I want to hook up my quick disconnect. I'm going to make sure this valve is closed here, which it should be. I will then take my quick disconnect and attach it. The next thing, I will have my sprayer turn on the system, and I'll have them select one of the percentages. In this case, we'll say it's 35%. After he turns the system on, selects a percentage, I'm going to go ahead and turn this valve on, allowing the fluid to run through the hose. I'm going to turn this valve on, and I'm going to drain about 5-6 gallons of the old fluid in the piping to ensure that I get a clean reading. After I've done that, I'm going to close this valve. I'm going to go back and close this valve as well. Now there's no pressure to this hose, and I can safely put fluid into my sample cup here. I'll put a little bit in my sample cup. Close the valve, put it back. And now I'm going to take my reading. Just takes a couple drops in the refractometer. I'll select type 1 percentage, and I'll look to make sure to verify that it's reading 35%. This equipment does allow a plus or minus 1%. So if I'm looking for 35% and I receive 31 or 34% or 30% or 36%, that would also be okay. Now that I've verified that it's 35%, I'm going to go to my driver, or my sprayer I should say. I'm going to make sure that he selects OAT. Once he pushes the OAT button, I'm going to check the percentage to see what it is. In this case, 35 degrees, it's most likely around 20%. I want to go back here, open my valve up, open this valve up. I'm going to drain 5 or 6 more gallons, getting that old 35% fluid out of there. I'll then close my valve. Close this valve once again, stopping the flow of glycol through the hose. I'll then take another sample in my cup. Put it in the refractometer again, and repeat the process with the percentage, making sure that I'm plus or minus 1% from the 20% today. Once I'm complete, I'll have my sprayer turn off the unit. Once he turns off the unit, that means that the flow of pressure is stopped here. Ensure my valve's closed. I can then safely disconnect our quick connect hose. I'll drain the remaining fluid from the hose into the tote. And now my sampling's been completed for the day.